All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk more Handmaid's Tale. The episode literally just got over with, and this ends really strong. There's a lot going on in here as far as trying to get June safe. And there's some stuff in here that's just it was kind of slow. But it definitely has a really big, impactful ending. One that I'm mixed on. Part of me really is happy. Part of me is really sad. Part of me is wondering what the hell's going on. But anyway, before we get into it, if you're liking what I'm doing here, please don't forget to hit the like button. If you're not a subscriber, please become a subscriber to the channel. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers. It would be really great if we got there because of The Handmaid's Tale. All right, so this is season 4, episode 5, Chicago. About an hour that way from where I live. It's seen better days in this show. It's definitely nicer right now than it is on this show. So I also want to talk about briefly. We had a lot of comments, and I love it. You guys have been really fucking awesome in the comment section. We've had some disagreements, but they all have been very civil to each other. Let's keep that up in the comment section. I know that I was kind of hard on June. I've been kind of hard on June, especially with things that, like, when we talk about the decisions that you make as a parent, me not being a parent, and getting feedback of what parents would do. That's, I'm not, I absolutely agree with what you guys are saying. In this episode, though, I feel like there's a couple of major things that are just kind of what people do when they're sidelined and what people do when they're stalled out. Now, on June's side of things, she's made it to the resistance, if you want to call it that. And they're not what she expected. She's expecting people really taking it to the people of Gilead. But being where she was, she really doesn't know what the resistance would look like. She, I think when we say resistance and we say, fighting the bad guys, we have these kind of almost romantic views of like what we knew from like old stories of like World War II and things like that, of the people, the underground fighters who were taking it to the Nazis and things like that. But in this situation, it's quite different. And so getting there and finding these people, they're really more just trying to survive. The only thing about them that I kind of question is, if this is their lot, right, then I would be, the real resistance is that I would think that they're trying to get out of America and trying to get to Canada rather than just trying to scrape by. Because if they're not going to fight, they should be trying to get out of there. Now, I'm sure that since there are now borders that, contested borders, right, it's probably hard for them to get over there. But for June, getting to these people and finding out that all they're doing is scraping by and trying to live, this is not why she's there. Now, meanwhile, you have Janine, who, she's embracing this. She's just happy to be alive. She's just happy to think that she could even scrape out a future in this, this hollowed out Chicago. Now, this is kind of, I think, goes back to like just Janine as a person and where she's at mentally, like, does she really think that she can do it? Is she that confident in what she could actually accomplish, like living with some guy there and get pregnant and actually live? I don't know. Janine's weird. Janine's had a lot of really, really awful things happen to her, and I think that just this much hope, this much freedom, this much possibility, even if it's barely any, is enough for her. But not for June. And it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be for Janine either. But I do like that June knows there's that, when she sees the line that Janine's like, I'm staying, you do what you got to do. She doesn't push it any further. Now, on the other side of things, like when I say, that's stalled out. Like June's stalled. She doesn't know what to do with the group that she's with, right? Then on the other side of it, you have sidelined. And it's not just her, right? It's not just Lydia that's sidelined. And it's also Lawrence that's sidelined. You got these two characters that had their positions taken away from them. Now Lawrence on one side of it is just lucky to be alive, and the fact that they give him the ability to work in the capacity that they've given him, but he's basically powerless. He's just kind of a figurehead, and they respect him for what he's done, but they don't really plan on listening to him because of all the things that have gone down on his watch. Now, Lydia, on the other hand, same thing, right? She was the head of the Handmaids. Now, after everything that's gone down, over and over and over again, and now like losing the girls at the train crossing, she's been, relegated to get better. It made me think of Game of Thrones when Daenerys is brought back from, found by the Khalasar, brought to their people, and we're supposed to hang out with the old cow wives. Like, this is it. This is where you're retiring. We're retiring you. We respect you, but this is where you go. This is where you go to just kind of live the rest of your life, and you're not going anywhere else. The girls are no longer your responsibility. And that doesn't sit well with her either, because of everything that she's been going on. And even though I can tell that this is starting to go towards the new book from how it's been described to me, but she's not sitting with this. So you have this combination of these two characters who end up working together. So Lawrence, he wants to do a ceasefire. Why? Well, the ceasefire will give June a chance, wherever she is, to try to cross a border and get free. Him saying that, like to Nick, who votes it down. But since he's not on the council anymore, he has no push. He has no pull towards these guys. He can't get them to do anything. And if Nick's not siding with him, then that doesn't help either. This is where you get Lydia steps in, right? Lydia goes to Lawrence. And I thought that this was a pretty interesting scene. You get these two pretty awful people in their own different ways. Like Lawrence has done unspeakable things that started this whole thing, right? But he's been trying to make up for it. Lydia has been doing terrible things, and she's trying to make up for it, but in a different way. It's still fucked up and absolutely delusional. She's basically trying to make the handmaids stronger sex slaves. To be able to stand up against some of the evil that these men that are in Gilead will try to get them to do, to get and to debase themselves even further. And it's like, well, what are you talking about? Rape is rape. They're being raped by these people. So you're just making them being able to tolerate it more. And, you can point out which ones are really bad so that, Lydia can get them in trouble. But Lawrence needs Lydia's information. But, with all the girls, they can find out, put blackmail on these guys. And Lydia needs to be reinstated. And so this brings that calibration. This is how these two end up going from being sidelined to getting more power again. In Lydia's case, it's a lot of power being put back in charge of the girls. But I have a feeling that for both of these people, this is the last straw. One other kind of fuck up, and it's donezo for both of them. So Lydia will give information to Lawrence, and Lawrence gets her reinstated. And we see that Lawrence moves fast. Lawrence moves really fast. When they reconvene for the council, Nick's trying to be like, hey, about the ceasefire, I'm for it now. And Lawrence has already gotten info from Lydia. He has already clearly worked a guy on the council to get him to change his mind. So that, hey, everybody's like, yeah, let's do a ceasefire now. And even Nick's like, what? But there's a caveat to all of this. and they're going to bomb the shit out of the contested border areas right before the ceasefire. Now, even you get to see the look on Lawrence and Nick's face. They're trying to communicate with each other like, yeah, I know, this is the only way. This is the only way they're going to agree to it, and we got to hope to God that wherever June is, she's not going to be caught in this bonfire. And I love that look between each other because they're just like, yeah, this is where we're at. Now, the stuff with June and the Resistance here is, I'm gonna just say it was kind of boring. It was just them walking around trading. I mean, the biggest moment I think in the Chicago scene was them trading their cloaks. They've had these cloaks forever, and they traded for a Cubs hat. Maybe in 2016 it'd be worth a Cubs hat would be worth having. Nah, that's fine if you like I like the Cubs. But the big thing is just having this thing. It's like their uniform, but it's such a part of who they are. And if you look at it when she gives the cloak up, there's this wince, this kind of twitch of her eye, where it's just kind of like she hates it, but at the same time, it's like part of her. So it's like giving up that last bit of that past. Now she's only got the internal trauma to deal with, but it's a big symbolic moment, I think. Getting rid of those cloaks, which thank goodness. So June leaves. Janine decides to stay. And I know from the thumbnail that I made that there's bombs going off around them, so Janine does return. But unfortunately, they are caught in the blast zone of this almost ceasefire. And they get that moment, right? June and Janine have this moment, and it should have been like, my alarms were already going off. We're better together. Because there was the comment that Janine made earlier about how she should have tried to protect Alma and Brianna as much as she's been trying to protect Janine. And the bombs start going off. And that was a really impressive shot, by the way, of the bombs all going off around them. I don't know how they did that. If they were actually there, that would have been a very controlled set. But everything gets blown up around them. We come to somebody singing a cover of of Coldplay, and it's really, again, this kind of bugged me because we have this just really, really long moment where, where's Janine? We know June's alive. Where's Janine? Where's Janine? Where's Janine? And I basically, to myself, was saying, if we've just killed Janine, then I'm really upset. I'm going to be really upset. But we don't know. We don't know what happened to her. As of right now, I'm going to try to think that she's presumed that we're going to find her in the next episode, but they give us nothing. So on that end, I was a little like, oh no, not another one. Not Janine 2. But what we do get is that actual, and I'm really glad of the choice here of the person that finds June. I was actually thinking that it was going to be Luke that found her, but it's Moira. And I thought that was such a better choice. The handmaid that escaped, the handmaid that got out, and it being Moira and her, and just the kind of dumbfoundedness of like, I can't believe it's you looking at me. Like, the recognition's almost not there. Like, it's just like, so what? And so for the audience, there's got to be a huge sigh of relief, right? That seeing Moira means freedom. Seeing Moira means she can get out and see her baby and see Luke and take it to the Waterfords and start helping, from a different perspective. Me, I'm glad for this too. I just want to know that Janine's okay. I want to really know that Janine's all right. I don't know why. We've lost too many people along the way in this show, and I don't know if I can take another one right now. Not another one. So on one hand, like I said, I'm really happy. This is it. This is the moment. June is out. Because again, I'd also been complaining about June always getting recaptured. And who's to say that that won't happen? Because I know that one of Lydia's things that she was talking about is when she wants to make sure that when she, got put back in charge, that when they find them, that June of Joseph is back under Lydia's watchful eye. Now, I swear to God, if that happens, I will just throw my notes in the air and be like, pfft. But I feel like there has to be some sort of final confrontation between Lydia and June. All I can think is that June better not say to Moira, I can't because Hannah's still here. Hannah's a lost cause at this point. It's terrible and tragic. She'll have to figure out another way to get Hannah out. She's not going to be able to get Hannah out the way that she wanted to. She's got to find a way, politically, diplomatically. I don't know what way. There's got to be a different way, though. And hopefully she can do it when she's free. And that's basically it for Chicago. Again, this was a 43-minute episode. Some big moves were made. Lawrence is back in the council. Lydia's back with the Handmaids. June is free, and we don't know where the hell Janine is. I was worried, though, at this point, I'm just glad that they didn't show me a body yet, and I can still hope that she's still alive. So, if you liked this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, hit the bell for all notifications. I want to thank all of you that have been watching. Also check out my Mayor of Easttown reviews I just started doing if you're into that show. We're going to be doing Hacks on Friday, the Gene Smart show from HBO. Also look out for a TV show recommendation video that should be coming shortly after this gets uploaded. If you're into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., we do that too. So, thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next week for more Handmaid's Tale. Bye.